Latest in the death of a man in Memphis after a traffic stop with police. All 5 officers involved have now been fired. Our senior national correspondent Steve Osunsame joins us now with the latest. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Lindsay. The family of Tyre Nichols is meeting with Memphis police today and getting their first look at the police video that shows how their son was beaten before he was hospitalized. He died from his injuries just a few days later. We're not sure when police will publicly release the video, but prosecutors say they're not going to do it before it's at the point where it jeopardizes what they're doing. This weekend, Memphis police finally identified and then fired the 5 police officers involved in the incident, who in this case happened to all be African American. Nichols was pulled over by police January 7th. Police say there was a confrontation, that he then ran from police, and that there was another confrontation. This was the point where they say he complained that he had trouble breathing. His family has been sharing this hospital bedside photo before the young man died, asking what type of confrontation after a traffic stop could have led to these kind of injuries. Police say the 5 officers who were fired used excessive force and failed in their duty to render aid. The district attorney is looking into this case, and so is the U.S. Department of Justice. Guys.
Tonight, the city of Memphis is bracing for the release of video showing the violent confrontation between police and 29-year-old Tyre Nichols, who died 3 days after the encounter. The U.S. Attorney today promised the community the Department of Justice is conducting a thorough criminal civil rights investigation. CBS's Elise Preston is in Memphis.
We are hearing for the first time dispatch audio from the night Memphis police arrested 29-year-old Tyre Nichols.
At Ross and Castlegate Lane, he's fighting at this time.
When officers say 2 confrontations took place following a traffic stop. U.S. Attorney Kevin Ritz says his office is working to determine what exactly happened the night of January 7th. Nichols, seen here bloodied and bruised, died just days later.
Our federal investigation may take some time. These things often do. But we will be diligent, and we will make decisions based on the facts and the law.
At a city council meeting Tuesday, residents demanded to see police footage of the arrest. The 5 officers in the encounter, who are all black, have been fired for department violations.
It could have been your son, Miss Logan. It could have been you, Edmund Ford.
Miss Moses.
Memphis City Council Chair Martavius Jones says the community is on edge.
2 weeks later, where's the city now?
I see us having our hands on a combustible can, and we're trying to keep it contained for as long as we can.
Jones believes one thing is clear. Police training needs to be reevaluated.
This black man died at the hands of other black men that were wearing blue. Blue is the only color that matters here.
All of the fired officers had been with the Memphis Police Department for less than 6 years. Meanwhile, a funeral for Tyre Nichols will be held here in Memphis next week. Reverend Al Sharpton is expected to deliver the eulogy. Nora?
Elise Preston, thank you so much.
Hey, Stephanie and Greg, for several days we have been asking the question, what happened during the arrest of Tyre Nichols? And for the first time, we have a better idea after speaking with a neighbor.
Nothing has ever happened like that before here.
On January 7th, everything neighbors have come to expect living in the neighborhood around Ross and Rains Road in Hickory Hill changed.
The whole scene was a little disturbing. You know, just all these officers out here, lights out here, and they were out here for hours.
A scene marking the end of a pursuit initiated by Memphis police, who claims Tyre Nichols was driving recklessly. As officers went to detain him, they say 2 confrontations broke out, leaving the 29-year-old severely injured.
I just saw him lying still. Lifeless, I really couldn't tell, but he was not moving.
WREG spoke with a woman who prefers not to be identified. She claims she saw video of the alleged attack taken by a concerned neighbor.
Based on what she said, the officers weren't able to catch him, and then once they did catch him, they ensued with beating him.
3 days later, Nichols died, sparking investigations by the FBI, TBI, and the Department of Justice.
No justice, no peace.
Nichols' death is sparking calls for the video of the arrest to be released to the public, which the city of Memphis has vowed to do so. The neighbor we talked to believes there will be outrage.
When they see things like that, it gives them an uproar. I don't think it's going to be perceived very well.
And officials have not gave a definitive date as to when that video will be released, but they did say it'll happen after the family views it.
Props to the Most High. Yeah! I don't do it like y'all, and y'all don't do it like me. I ain't never gonna fall, and that's word to my G. So you can say that tall, say that shit, show me what it's gonna be. No, that ain't word at all. I'ma get it niggas hell to the leave, hell to the leave.